Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
I remember when the Roomba came out. We made a big deal about it. This is from a company aptly named iRobot. That was the name, of course, of Isaac Asimov's robotic short stories, and the subject of quite a few movies. Remember that one where Will Smith saved the world from iRobot?
Independence Day, right.
Pardon me? Independence Day, of course. That's it. That's the one. Of course, this robot's not going to take over your world. In fact, it's barely going to take over your carpets. The first iRoomba I showed off on Regis and Kelly, gosh, it's been years now. And we did a little thing. We made a little corral for it and put some dirt and dust on the floor. And sure enough, you turn on the robot, and it goes around and it cleans it. It's got artificial intelligence technology that allows it to figure out where it's been and where it's going. And I guess it really feels like a random walk where it's just kind of bouncing off things. These rubber bumpers all the way around it. Sense walls. It also has cliff detection, so it won't fall down the stairs. And it will slowly work its way around your house. Vacuuming. It's kind of cool. It has a little base station. If all goes well, the Roomba, when it runs low on juice, will go back to the base station for further charging. It seems to have some personality, makes some noises, boops and beeps. It's kind of like R2-D2 in your house. Now, this is the latest now. The Roomba 880, and they've done some improvements, as you can see. If you're used to the Roomba, you'll notice the beater brushes, which used to be brushes, which meant you get a lot of hair and stuff stuck in there. In fact, the Roomba I bought, the 770, the predecessor to this, came with a special hair removal tool to get the hair out of these beaters. These are now rubber, and hair won't get stuck. It's also got a somewhat larger capacity, what do you call it, dust holder, dust drawer. In fact, let me pull this off and just show you. The reason I feel like the Roomba is working is because every time I go into the little dust container, and you'll notice this has changed too, a HEPA filter in here to help collect small particles if you're allergic to dust or pollen. And every time we go around, this was just from last night in my office. So I know it's doing something, but here's the problem with the Roomba. It doesn't replace vacuuming. I still feel the need every week to vacuum the house and so forth. So what this does really is it's kind of like a dust buster that goes around and kind of cleans up a little bit. It helps keep the place a little bit tidy. There are a few other negatives. The Roomba does get stuck from time to time. Its logic isn't perfect, so sometimes it'll spend an awful long time in one area. The marks it leaves on the carpet let you know, and they're very random and variegated. It's not like somebody was in there intentionally vacuuming, but it is awfully cute. The other negative is you don't want the Roomba running when you're home. For one thing, you might trip over it, but also it's pretty noisy. You hear it going all around the house. The final negative is, well, you see that, $700. For that, you get the Roomba 880 plus a couple of little Sentinel devices you can place around the house. You can either do that to mark off areas you don't want the Roomba to enter, or you could put it in a room and it'll say, hey, Roomba, stay in this room till you're done and then move on. That's a nice feature. I do find Roomba works best if you Roomba-proof your house. I have one piece of furniture. It's just the same height as the Roomba. The Roomba invariably goes under there and gets stuck every single time. So that you might use the Sentinels to keep it away from that kind of thing. Also, wires, while they don't tangle the Roomba, do slow it down, and it can get stuck with them. You want to see the Roomba in action?
Yes.
We're going to glue a camera. We've got our very own GoPro. Going to put that right on the top. And I'll show you how the Roomba works. There's a big, fat, clean button on it. You also get a remote control with the Roomba. And it seems like you should be able to steer it with a remote control. You can. No. But you can give it some instructions like go home, charge yourself, stop it, start it, and things like that. Let's put this on the floor.
Yay.
You got a Roomba cam over there? It was pretty impressive when we did this on Regis and Kelly some years ago. Oh, there's the shot from the Roomba. All right, and I'm going to press clean. Go, Roomba, go. The light lights up. It's colored. It's kind of cool. I said, go. Is the battery dead? What's going on?
I just need to be pressed twice.
I like the little do-do-do-do when it's cleaning. And there it goes. It's got a little beater brush or whatever you call that thing that's going to get stuff out of the corners. It also has the beater brush there. And it does pick up stuff. It just never seems to pick up enough stuff to eliminate vacuuming. And that seems to me to be the best thing. If you've got a kitty cat, sometimes they like to sit on the Roomba and wander around. That's kind of fun. Ozzy does not.
Does Ozzy get scared from it?
No, he kind of got used to it pretty quickly.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I have a 770 at home. Now, this has some advantages over the 770 besides those rubber beaters that... What are you looking at?
It's behind the box.
Go?
It's behind that box?
Yeah.
Oh, it's underneath. Here, I'll move the box.
So that is really loud, though. I mean,
But you hear
Yeah,
that?
that's
You don't
very
really
loud.
want to hear that wandering around your apartment when you're home.
Yeah.
But the good news is you can have up to 7 programs, so you can actually say, hey, wake up and clean and then go back to your charger after you're done while I'm gone. What I do with my older Roomba, my 770, is just press start when I leave the house. And usually, not always, but usually it's back in its charging station when I get home. Sometimes it's not, and that's a little bit of a
don't you
frustration.
feel proud when it actually gets back in the home?
Yeah, good boy. Good
Yes,
Roomba.
you did it.
You
You got
did
the
it.
dock.
This is what's really interesting about the Roomba. It really is kind of an object that has some personality. And you start to kind of like it. And that's really the pro on this. I'll give you the pros and cons. The cool factor, very high. You've got a robot in your house that wanders around. It's fun for your pets. Some pets like to ride it. This new Roomba is more effective. They say 50% better suction. They say that hairs don't get stuck. I will vouch for the hairs. I can't vouch for the better suction. I haven't tried it. I mean, I can't really tell. You know, when you do something like put dirt on the floor, yeah, it's going to get that. But when you see it actually in action, you see it leave stuff behind as it wanders around. Did I mention the cool factor is very, very high? The cons, you're paying $700 for that cool factor. It does not work well enough to eliminate manual cleaning. And unfortunately, the Roomba sometimes gets stuck or confused. I do recommend you Roomba-proof your house if you really want to get best results. You know who uses this and loves it is John Slanina, single guy. He likes it that he can come home and the house has kind of been tidied up a little bit. I have to say, there's a cat riding a Roomba. They actually do that. This I find mind-boggling. Why a cat would do that, especially in a shark suit, is beyond me. I hate to say don't buy this, but don't buy this. It's $700. You could buy I collect vacuums. I have 3 vacuums, 2 Dysons, a Dyson stick and a Dyson
You have
handheld.
so many.
Sounds like you have a vacuum problem. We're gonna
I've
need
yet to
intervention for you.
find vacuums are very disappointing. I've yet to find the perfect vacuum. I do think the Dysons are very good, but for $700 you can get a pretty good Dyson vacuum that's going to do a good job. Only problem is you're going to have to do it. If the Roomba eliminated that, I'd say a definite buy. It does not, in my opinion. See, it's going over the wires. Can you get that? It's going. Just leave it. I'm just saying it. The wires, these microphone wires should really stymie it. They really don't, and that's pretty remarkable.
That's better than the older models. I know it used to get caught on my Roomba, and then it would.
So look at that. Went right out. I mean, it does I have to say, they've definitely improved it. This is a significant step up. It's also a significant step more expensive than the older Roombas, but they've really made it a lot better. And I do think that they ought to be applauded for having made something that's truly unique. It's a tidier-upper. If you've got $800 or $700 burning a hole in your pocket, you want something that has some really interesting geek factor. It does tidy up a little bit. It does get some of the dust. And I have to say, I empty it almost every day, my Roomba, and there's definitely picking up something. The Roomba is probably a don't buy unless you're really... It's stuck under a table. Well, that was just the camera getting knocked off, but I think it's still... Look at that. This is amazing.
Still going to town.
Isn't that amazing? It's gotten much, much better in terms of getting around obstacles. Look at that. And I have to say, the floor is clean.
It's very valiant. It continues.
It's valiant. You got to love the Roomba.
You root
gotta
for
love
it.
That's the weird thing.
You're rooting for it. I just feel like it doesn't eliminate vacuuming, right? You're spending $700. It should eliminate the need to vacuum. But nothing like that ever is. It's never going to... It's like a dust... Okay, you've ever used a dust buster.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, that's nice. It's touch-up. But it doesn't... It's not so good that you never have to vacuum. And also, it doesn't get up on your furniture and clean your furniture. There's places it's not going to go. Obviously, it's not going to go down the stairs or up the stairs. The Roomba... God, it breaks my heart. It's a do not buy.